Hey everybody, Glenn here. I want to talk today just briefly about the importance of playing in tempo. Tempo being the speed in which you play something. Oftentimes when students start out learning chords or scales or whatever it is, there's sort of this kind of delay about just, well, when I get to the next chord and I get the fingering down, I'll get there. But that doesn't help you when you want to eventually get to the point where you want to be able to sing songs along with yourself or with another person or a combo, maybe 3, 4, 5 people or a group. So it's important early on to start to think about playing in tempo. So I'm not using a metronome right now, but I'm going to try to use my loop station, just kind of give you a... So there's a tempo. If we want to play some chords, so what you want to be able to do is find a chord progression that you're working on, whether it's G, C, D, C, A minor, F, G, it doesn't matter. Find the progression, or if you're just switching from one chord to another, C to A minor, let's say, if you're just 2, 3, 4. If you can't make the chord switch, use a metronome or time it so that you're playing it slow enough to be able to make the switch. So if I can play it at this tempo, you know, so what a metronome does, or just using a looper and setting your tempo, it keeps you honest. So that when you start to get it perfected at a certain slow speed, then you can pick up the speed. And let's say, for example, if I want to play a scale, if I want to do... G scale, major scale. Once you can do it at that speed, then you can expand it. So the purpose is to just keep you honest. And then it'll help your dexterity and then your overall sense of time. Now, there was a big Facebook battle going on a few years ago between two very famous bass players. I'm not going to mention names because they're both favorites of mine. And I was kind of in a situation where I agreed with both of them. But basically, one was saying that it was crucial to practice with a metronome. Another was saying that we really don't play in time, so getting locked into a metronome for training purposes is probably not a good idea. That's just sort of the 30,000-foot level of what they were debating. I'm kind of in the middle. I think when you're first starting out and you're not having a sense of rhythm because you don't have the confidence to change chords in time, I think it's important to use a metronome or some kind of a count that you can use. And I'm not saying you need the old wooden box things that you wind up. Pro Metronome is one that I use. You can find a ton of metronome apps for free out there that'll give you some of the basic time signatures, 4, 4, 3, 4, 6, 8. But what happens is you start to get your own sense of rhythm. So as you progress through, you can kind of 1, 2, 3, 4. did that based on my own tempo. And it was probably pretty accurate. It probably stayed pretty solid throughout. Recently, Ringo Starr was talking about when Jeff Lynne was producing the 3 remaining Beatles at the time, before George Harrison passed. And he said, "What is that?" in my headphones. And Jeff Lynne said, "It's a click track." And Ringo basically said, "Hey, I'm the effing click." So when you've got that good sense of timing and you get that down as you become more experienced, then it may not be necessary to practice with a metronome. I still do on occasion. I like to do that, especially when I'm learning something that's difficult and I want to get it down. I'll learn it slowly and then work up from there. Another thing to do is if you're learning a new piece of music and you get through the first 8 or 9 measures with no problem, and then you get to measure 10 and you constantly get stuck on it, don't go any further. Stop at measure 10, if that's, and work it over and over again. When I was learning Donna Lee years ago, when I was, by Charlie Parker, started in the wrong place, but that's the point. It's an A flat. I did an A. I had to keep running through that over and over again. But I had to do it slow. So it gets to the point where when I could play it fast, I couldn't play it slow again. But it was very... So what you want to do is just basically beat the phrases to death that you can't get memorized, and that'll help. So I hope this video helped a little bit. You really want to start off slow, accurate, instead of fast and sloppy. That is my mantra when it comes to practicing. Slow and accurate versus slow. So I hope this video helped out. Just keep that in mind. Slow and accurate versus fast and sloppy. Take your time. Repeat the phrases or measures over and over that you're struggling with. Then go through the entire piece of music that you're trying to learn. If you can get through that rough measure, that rough spot, and play the entire piece, then you got it licked. This is Glenn. Thanks a lot. Hey, subscribe to my channel and also go to my website, glenireland.com. GLENNIRELAND. Thanks a lot and God bless.